The first one is from Ron. He says, what's the difference between a money site ID page and a location landing page? The money site is the self-hosted site, which is where the location landing page will be. The location landing page is the page linked to from the Google Business Profile. Whatever you put as the website URL in the Google Business Profile when you're optimizing the GBP, that is the location landing page. Think about it. It's the landing page that you land on when you click the website URL or button from the Google Business Profile. That's why it's called the location landing page. It should be on the same site as the self-hosted site. But a lot of the times the businesses will link to their homepage, and service area businesses do that all the time. But if they've got a bunch of location pages, like that they're trying to, rank in adjacent areas, etc., then it makes more sense to link to a dedicated landing page that is optimized to corroborate how the GBP is optimized. So anyways, I've done a lot of training on that, but the money site is the self-hosted site. The location landing page is usually on that. It's just going to be the specific page URL that is linked to from the GBP. An ID page is the unique resource identifier that we can build and control, at least partially control some of the data that is fed into the web that Google uses to build the knowledge graph for a local entity. In other words, an ID page is supposed to be a unique or the @ID field in local business schema. That is what it is referencing. When I talk about an ID page, I'm talking about what you put in the @ID field of local business schema. There's an @ID field for organization schema as well. But the way that I kind of separate the two is organization schema is broad information. It's supposed to be information about the brand in its entirety, its totality, not any location specific information, especially if it's like a multi-location brand. But with local business schema, that is location specific branded entity information, right? So that's information about a brand. Yes, it can have a local business can be part of a larger brand, right? And that's why you can have what's called like parent organization in where it references the main brand and all of that in local business schema. But the @ID field in local business schema should have, if you're going to use that for SEO purposes, you should put a resource there that the Googlebot will then go follow to that resource, which is why there's the @ID field to begin with, is to tell the Googlebot at this resource, you can find validating information about this specific branded location, right? So the specific branded location. So corroborating evidence, validation of the name, address, phone number, website, who the business is, what they do, and where they do it. And you can reinforce all of that in the ID page because when you have a dedicated resource for that, right? And that's why we build an ID page, because then now we have a dedicated resource that we reference in the @ID field of the local business schema, so that when your Googlebot comes to recrawl the page, now it's going to see that @ID field or URL. It's supposed to be unique resource identifier, but it'll be a dedicated URL that then it goes and follows to that page, at which point it spiders out from that page to all of the branded and supporting assets that have accurate information published about that specific business or branded location. Does that make sense? In other words, you want to go out and extract all of the page URLs that have accurate information published about that local business. And then consolidate them all into one document, one web page, which is what the ID page is. And we reference those URLs either through hyperlink and embed or by putting them into a Google Sheet. And then what we do is concatenate. So that's hyperlink the page URLs to relevant keywords in a Google Sheet. And then we publish the Google Sheet and embed that in the ID page. And the reason for that is because then when the Googlebot comes to the money site, the self-hosted site, the location landing page, which is where the local business schema should be inserted, is in the location landing page, then it's going to crawl. When it goes to recrawl the page, it will see that @ID field, follow that resource to dedicated URL to the page, where then it spiders out from there to all of the branded and supporting assets that have accurate information published about that specific branded location. So do you understand? It's our way of being able to inform the knowledge graph, essentially help Google develop the knowledge graph for the specific local brand. And it's very, very powerful when done properly. And then it also can become a primary link building target, because now you have a dedicated like entity hub that of all the information that is reinforced, that is accurate, that validates specific branded location information. And so if you can build links to that ID page that are topically and or geographically relevant, aren't you pushing link equity and relevance into the entire knowledge graph for that specific branded location? That's a yes, because that's what you're doing. Again, same reason why when we reference the page URLs that have accurate information published about that business. When I say reference, I mean hyperlink, embed, or putting into the published G sheet. We reference those URLs so that the Google bot will find them and pull all of that data into the knowledge graph that it's building, it's already developing for that specific branded location. But for the same reason, that's why we want to build links to that, because when we build links to that with proper links, relevant links is going to distribute across all of those properties, thereby powering up all of the branded and supporting assets from one point, from one main kind of hub, so to speak. So it's a very powerful strategy. I've been doing it for many years now. And once the Google business websites went away, which that's a different asset that was retired in March, can't even access them anymore. The ID page became the perfect substitute for that. So that's what we use as our three primary kind of assets. What I call tier 0 assets are the self-hosted site, that's the organic side of things. Then there's the Google Business Profile, which is the maps side of things, and the ID page, which really kind of pulls everything together and connects everything. If that makes sense. It's like the third leg of the stool, so to speak. So hopefully that's clear.